Welcome to Lead with Linnea, where we talk about real leadership for real people in the real world. I'm Linnea Rader, and I've spent 2 decades in public service leadership, from accounting to my current role as the Director of Finance and Human Resources. I've seen pretty much everything: the spectacular successes, the painful failures, and everything in between that makes leadership both challenging and incredibly rewarding. Here's the thing. Leadership is not reserved for people with fancy titles or corner offices. Every single one of us can be a leader in our personal and professional lives. Whether you're managing a team of 50 or just trying to figure out how to navigate office politics, whether you're a frontline worker or sitting around a boardroom table, leadership skills matter. My approach? I skip the fluff and get straight to what really works. You won't find theoretical frameworks or feel-good platitudes here. Instead, you'll get practical, tested strategies from someone who's been in the trenches, made the mistakes, and learned the hard lessons so that you don't have to. Through Lead with Linnea, I provide leadership development training and coaching because I'm passionate about helping people discover their authentic leadership potential. And honestly, some days you need to laugh to keep from crying, and some days you just need someone to tell you the truth about what leadership really looks like. So whether you're listening while you commute, taking a walk, or just need someone to remind you that you've got this, I'm here for you. So let's dive in and talk about what it really takes to lead with authenticity, impact, and maybe a little bit of sanity. Ready? Let's go. Gratitude in leadership. Why thank you matters more than you think. It's the day before Thanksgiving, which means we're all about to sit around tables and go through the ritual of saying what we're thankful for. Someone will mention family, someone will say health. Your uncle will probably say something about football. It's sweet, it's traditional, and honestly, it's often pretty surface level. But here's what I've been thinking about. Gratitude in leadership isn't a once-a-year, around-the-table exercise. It's a daily practice that either strengthens your team or, when done poorly or not at all, slowly erodes the foundation you're trying to build. Now, before you go and roll your eyes thinking this is going to be some fluffy feel-good post about participation trophies and everyone getting a gold star, stick with me, because I'm going to tell you about the time gratitude literally saved my sanity and the times I've watched it go spectacularly wrong. When your team shows up and you remember why you do this work. So every year we put together a snowplow rodeo, an employee appreciation day. If you've ever organized one of these events, picture this: course setup, equipment coordination, safety planning, training programs, food, logistics, scoring systems, prizes. It's a massive undertaking that takes weeks of preparation. This year, the event was scheduled right after I'd been out of the office for a week. As I was preparing to leave, the stress was mounting. My mental checklist was pages long. There was so much to finalize, so much to coordinate, and I'd be returning with just a few short days to pull it all together. I came back to the office fully prepared to go into crisis mode. Instead, I walked into a completely set up course. The team had stepped up in ways I hadn't even asked them to. They'd handled the details, coordinated with each other, and had everything ready. I just needed to finalize a few last things. The relief was incredible. Not because it meant less work for me, although, let's be honest, that was pretty great. But because it was such a tangible demonstration of what a strong team looks like. They didn't need me micromanaging every detail. They saw what needed to happen, and they made it happen. That's the moment you remember why you do this work. That's the moment you feel genuinely grateful. Not in a performative, obligatory way, but in a deep, I'm so lucky to work with these people way. And here's the thing, I told them, not in some grand gesture or formal ceremony, but genuinely and specifically, because that kind of initiative deserves to be acknowledged. The gratitude that isn't actually gratitude. But let's talk about when gratitude goes wrong, because oh boy, does it ever. I've worked with someone from a different agency who expresses gratitude constantly. And I mean constantly. Every interaction is dripping with thanks and appreciation. The language is grandiose, over the top, filled with personal details and emotional declarations. It's a whole production. And it's completely meaningless. Because as soon as the gratitude performance is over, This person's actions tell a completely different story. The behavior is the polar opposite of someone who's genuinely appreciative. It's like watching someone with multiple personalities. Or more accurately, watching someone who's figured out that saying the right words can sometimes substitute for actually meaning them. This is what I call platitude gratitude. Words without substance. Performance without authenticity. And here's the brutal truth. People see right through it. Your team is not stupid. They know the difference between genuine appreciation and empty words designed to manipulate or to impress. When you express gratitude that you don't actually feel or back up with your actions, you're worse off than if you said nothing at all. Because now you've shown your team that your words mean nothing, and you've lost all credibility that you'll struggle to get back. So the gratitude we forget. Here's where most of us fail at gratitude, and I'm absolutely including myself in this. We get used to excellence. Your HR person executes a flawless open enrollment for the 5th year in a row. Your administrative assistant prepares documents so impeccably you've never once walked into a meeting unprepared. Your crew handles the routine maintenance so well that residents don't even think about the infrastructure that makes their daily lives possible. And we forget to say thank you. Not because we're ungrateful or don't appreciate it, but because excellence has become the baseline. We expect it because it's what we always deliver. The problem is delivering excellence consistently is actually harder than delivering it once. It requires sustained effort, attention to detail, and genuine commitment to quality. And when we fail to acknowledge that consistent excellence, we're sending a message we don't intend. This is just what I expect from you. It's nothing special. But it is special, and the person delivering it deserves to hear that. The recognition that backfires. On the flip side, I've seen leaders who recognize everything, but they do it in ways that actually damage morale rather than build it. They publicly thank people for work they clearly don't even understand. They make a big show of recognition so others can witness their leadership generosity. They hand out praise like candy, indiscriminate and meaningless. The result? A lot of rolled eyes, a lot of cynicism, and a significant loss of respect for the leader. Because again, people aren't stupid. They know when recognition is genuine and when it's a performance. They know when you actually understand what they did and when you're just going through the motions. I've heard about a situation that perfectly illustrates how badly this can go. A board found itself without organizational leadership and expected several individuals to step up and manage the situation. Those people did exactly that, impeccably in fact. They kept the organization running smoothly and even managed to grow it during this interim period. The board's response? Questions, condemnation, open skepticism about motives, public doubt about the team's intentions and their decisions. When the board finally got around to recognizing this hard work and dedication, they offered a nominal pay stipend that amounted to less than 5% of the money the organization had saved by having these individuals step up. That's not gratitude, that's an insult, dressed up as appreciation. The message sent was clear. We doubted you the entire time. We questioned your every move, and now we're going to offer you a token gesture that demonstrates exactly how little we value your sacrifice. The damage to morale, trust, and future willingness to go above and beyond, immeasurable. What real gratitude looks like in leadership. So, what does genuine, effective gratitude actually look like? It's specific. Not great job on that project, but the way you coordinated with the other departments on that timeline crunch saved us from a major problem. Thank you. It's timely, not 6 months later when you remember, but as close to the moment as possible when the effort and impact are fresh. It's backed up by actions. Your gratitude needs to be reflected in how you treat people, the opportunities you provide, and the way you advocate for your team. It's proportional. A massive effort that went above and beyond deserves more than a passing thanks. Your appreciation should match the significance of what someone did. And it's sincere. If you don't genuinely appreciate something, don't pretend that you do. Find something that you actually do appreciate and acknowledge that instead. The Thanksgiving Challenge. As we head into Thanksgiving, here's my challenge to you. Identify 3 people on your team who constantly deliver excellence that you've stopped acknowledging. The person who always has your back. The one who makes your job easier every single day. The team member who quietly handles the difficult stuff without complaint. Then actually tell them, specifically, genuinely, not in a big public display, unless that's appropriate and they'd actually appreciate it. Not in a generic email blast, but in a real conversation where you look them in the eye and tell them exactly what they do that you're grateful for and why it matters. Because here's what I know for certain. Leadership in local government is hard. The challenges are constant, the resources are limited, and the scrutiny is intense. Your team members who show up every day and do excellent work, despite all of that, deserve to hear that you see it and you appreciate it. Beyond the holiday, gratitude shouldn't be a once-a-year practice reserved for Thanksgiving or Employee Appreciation Week. It should be woven into how you lead every day. That doesn't mean you need to be handing out gold stars constantly or turning every interaction into a gratitude fest. It means being present enough to notice when someone goes above and beyond, being humble enough to acknowledge when others make your job possible, and being genuine enough that your appreciation actually means something. Your team isn't working for you because they love filling out paperwork or fixing infrastructure or dealing with complaints. They're doing it because the work matters, because they're committed to serving the community, and because, hopefully, they work in an environment where their contributions are valued. You create that environment, or you erode it with every interaction. With every moment that you notice excellence or overlook it. With every genuine thank you or empty platitude. So, as you sit around your Thanksgiving table this week and go through the ritual of expressing gratitude, think about whether you're bringing that same genuine appreciation to your team, because they deserve it. And honestly, so do you. The relief and joy that comes from working with people you genuinely appreciate is one of the best parts of leadership. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go thank some people who made my life significantly better this year and probably don't hear it enough. So what's your approach to expressing gratitude as a leader? Have you experienced particularly meaningful recognition or seen it go wrong? Share those thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences. Thank you for joining me today on Lead with Linnea. I hope something we talked about resonates with you and gives you a tool you can actually use in your leadership journey. Remember, leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional, authentic, and willing to keep learning and growing. You're going to face situations you never saw coming, make decisions that feel impossible, and sometimes wonder if you're cut out for this whole leadership thing. It's normal, it's human, and that's exactly why we need leaders like you who are willing to do the hard work. If today's episode sparked some ideas about training or coaching for you or your team, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach me at Linnea at leadwithlinnea.com or give me a call at 269-621-5282. Whether you're looking for one-on-one coaching, team training, or need someone to speak at your next event, let's talk about how we can help you and your people become the leaders your organization needs. You can find more resources, read my blog post, and learn more all about my services at leadwithlinnea.com. As always, carry social kindness with you everywhere you go. This world needs you and your positive mindset. Until next time, keep leading and keep growing.